English Home Language, Lesson 26. Topic: Language. Sentences. Turn to Lesson 26 in the Learner's Workbook. This lesson includes an individual activity and peer assessment. Integration. Sentence structure is critical for ensuring that a text makes sense. You will be writing sentences for all school subjects, as well as in your personal and working life. Prior knowledge. You have been writing sentences, whether simple or complex, since grade 4. You will use the skills you have developed to continue writing text with increasing sophistication and efficacy. Lesson overview. In this lesson you will revise how to construct sentences, learn the differences between simple, compound and complex sentences.
Hello everyone, I'm Janet. What we're looking at in our lesson today is learning outcome 4, which is language. And you know that this learning outcome means that you are able to use language structures and conventions appropriately and effectively. So appropriately is correctly, and effectively that you use them for the best effect. Now in grade 11, we were talking about groups of words forming sentences. And we talked specifically about the simple sentence. And this is how in your grade 11 lesson we defined a simple sentence. The assessment standards that we're looking at, we know this when you can use structurally sound sentences in a meaningful and functional manner. And underneath that, you're asked to be able to use simple, compound, and complex sentences appropriately. We did discuss sentences in grade 11, and we are going to pick up on that and just develop it and revise it. We talked about the simple sentence, and in grade 11 we said that a simple sentence is this. A sentence is a group of words that make sense on its own. So what is the difference then between a sentence and a simple sentence? The simple sentence, in the simplest kind of writing, all the sentences are of the same kind. They have only one clause. And what is a clause? A clause is something that has one subject and one finite verb. Let's revise that by looking at some examples on this piece of paper. Here is our first sentence. Climate change may unleash waves of destruction in South Africa. What are we looking for first? Find the finite verb. Now remember, a finite verb is a complete verb. A lot of students will realize that unleash is a main part of the verb, but they forget to include the whole verb. The finite verb is all the bits of the verb. So in this sentence, the finite verb is may unleash. Now how do we find the subject of a sentence? We ask who or what before the verb. So who or what may unleash waves of destruction? And the answer is climate change. So that is our subject. So we said our definition of our clause is to have one subject and one finite verb. And we said if it has only one subject and only one finite verb, then we can call this a simple sentence. So it's a simple sentence. Why? One subject, one finite verb. So it's a simple sentence, or sometimes you can call it a main clause, but a simple sentence. Let's look at our second example. Scientists expect a 3°C increase in temperatures for our part of the planet. We start with find the finite verb. And what do we find? Expect. Just one word here, that's our finite verb. Find the subject. Ask who or what before the verb. Who or what expect? Scientists. So that's our subject. One subject, one finite verb. It is again a simple sentence. What else did we say about the simple sentence in our grade 11 lessons? We said this: a simple sentence expresses a single idea, one idea. It has one subject, it has one finite verb. But be careful, it does not have to be short. You can, in fact, have quite a long simple sentence as long as it just has one subject and one finite verb. Let's look at the next example on our piece of paper. In the run-up to the middle of the century, droughts and heat waves could leave large tracts of southern, central and northern South Africa parched, with potentially devastating impacts on commercial agriculture and subsistence sectors. Now you can see just in the typing, that one is really quite short. This one is really quite long. You start again, you're looking for the finite verb. Now remember to look for all bits of the finite verb. In the run-up to the middle of the century, no verb there. Droughts and heat waves could leave. There it is. But it's more than just leave. Could leave. Finite verb. How do we find the subject? You ask who or what before the verb. Who or what could leave? Droughts and heat waves could leave. So that's our subject. Look at the rest of the sentence. Be careful. You might think that there is another verb, but there isn't. Be very careful with parched. Parched is not a verb. I'm just going to put a little dot under it. It's an adjective. It's telling me about southern, central and northern South Africa. So it's telling me about this. That could be parched. It's not a verb. So in fact, it has one subject and one finite verb, and therefore it is a simple sentence. So longer, but still a simple sentence. Let's do one more example. The Department of Environment and Tourism promulgated the National Environmental Management Air Quality Act with specific provisions for greenhouse gases at the end of 2005. Once again, you are looking for your finite verb. Sort of close to the beginning of the sentence. The Department of Environment and Tourism, there it is. Promulgated. There it is, finite verb. One word here. How do we find the subject of a verb? You say who or what before the verb. Who or what promulgated? Answer, the Department of Environment and Tourism. That's your subject. So again, one subject, one finite verb, it's a simple sentence. And let's look at those three sentences. That one here is, I suppose, a medium length. This one is longer. That one is clearly shorter. So it doesn't have to be a specific length to be a simple sentence. It must have one subject and one finite verb. Right, so that's the simple sentence.